Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
This is the morning edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Monday the 7th. James Spann here. Going to be kind of a cold day today with some light rain at times. Maybe a few snowflakes mixing in this evening. The better chance of snow this week will be Wednesday night. And of course, the big question is how much and who gets it? Let's see if we can tackle those questions. Let's go to some of the Skycam shots around the network early this morning. First off, coming from Tuscaloosa. That's the great shot there of the Hugh Thomas Bridge. Is seen from the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse. So far, no rain, but they could see some at any time. Mostly light rain today, nothing heavy. We'll check the Inverness Skycam. Goodness, that's 4:51 a.m. Got a few brave souls out there this morning, not very many. It's cloudy and cool, mostly mid-30s in Birmingham. And down south, they look at downtown Clanton, down in Chilton County on a early February morning. Well, another trough to the west. We've seen a lot of those here in recent weeks, and again, that's going to bring some light precipitation to the state today. We'll check the conditions this morning at 5 o'clock. Readings are mostly in the mid and upper 30s where the clouds are in place. Birmingham sitting at 39, but where the sky is clear, we have 20s on the board. Gadsden and Anniston 28, but again, as the south winds kick in and the clouds increase, those numbers should increase pretty rapidly, so as the light rain begins, we don't expect any issues with icing or freezing rain this morning. And there's a look at the rain this morning at 4:41 a.m. And you can see light rain showing up really all the way from near York and Livingston up to near Muscle Shoals and Athens. But initially, that's not reaching the ground. And I guess it is conceivable that when it begins to reach the ground, there could be a few reports of ice pellets mixed in with that. But again, mostly just some light rain at times today, nothing especially heavy. There's the bigger picture across the Deep South this morning. There's a broad surface low between Memphis and Jackson. And back in the cold air, there is some snow falling back in parts of Arkansas. And again, it's possible as this thing winds down this evening and colder air drops in, the rain could briefly mix with or change to a few snow flakes, but nothing significant is expected. And around the nation, we're keeping an eye on that very cold air up north. It looks like it's about 22 below zero in the core of that, but I don't think we see that, the super-duper Arctic blast at the end of this week that some of the models were advertising last week. Some of the guidance had us down to zero and all these single digits, but it's going to be colder late this week, but nothing like that, thank goodness. And there's the watch warning map today. Winter storm watch is up. Guess what? Dallas, Fort Worth, and Oklahoma City, like they could use some more of that. Tulsa, and that's for the system coming in Wednesday. Winter weather advisories for the system today through parts of Arkansas, western Tennessee, and western Kentucky. This is the day 3 snow outlook. This is valid from 6 o'clock Wednesday morning until 6 o'clock Thursday morning. And this is the probability of at least 4 inches of snow. And the bigger numbers are out there roughly along Interstate 40, eastern Oklahoma, much of Arkansas, back into parts of North Mississippi and southwestern Tennessee. And again, I think there's a good chance we will see some snow here Wednesday night into early Thursday, but I don't think we see 4 inches based on what we see now. Peek at the QPF chart. This is the overall precipitation around the country for the next 5 days, suggesting about 3/4 of an inch liquid here. And that would be, again, what comes down today and then what comes down Wednesday night, and early Thursday. This is valid through Friday evening at 6 o'clock. Okay, let's look at the modeling here. This is the 06ZGFS at noon today. Very sharp trough to the west. And we're going to use the RPM since it's done a pretty good job this winter season. This is at noon today. And really, it's got the better rains off to the south and east and a band of snow northwest of the state. Places like Memphis, down Interstate 55. And then 6 o'clock this evening, the RPM is suggesting there could be a few snowflakes around here. You can see that band of light rain possibly changing to light snow, and we'll probably mention that. In fact, we will in our forecast. But again, it doesn't seem to be a deal where we're going to see any accumulating snow. Maybe somebody up in the Tennessee Valley gets a dusting up on the high terrain of northeast Alabama, but down this way, nothing but a few snowflakes. And again, nothing to foul up the traffic or make everybody go home early this time. And then tonight at midnight, again, evidence of a few snow flurries, mainly along and east of Interstate 65, but again, no big deal. Okay, tomorrow, here comes the next trough back over the southwestern states. You can see the energy very clearly there, and down below that, snow breaks out over Colorado and Kansas. There's a very cold 1,044 millibar high that's sitting up on the Canadian border of Montana. We'll go to Wednesday. The snow continues over parts of northern Texas, maybe Dallas-Fort Worth, much of central and east Oklahoma, over into Arkansas. Now, Wednesday night at midnight, the GFS just fizzles this thing out. It shears apart and goes away. And I'm not so sure that makes a lot of sense. That's midnight Wednesday night, and then Thursday morning at 6 o'clock, there's absolutely nothing. And the GFS is clearly an outlier here. We'll show you the RPM. This is valid at midnight Wednesday night, and this is the last frame of the model. This one runs to 72 hours, so we can't go beyond this, but this is suggesting some pretty decent snow may be developing roughly around Interstate 20. It's got the better snow rates down this way, with the amounts lighter up north, and a band of freezing precipitation, a mix. Again, Interstate 20 seems to be the border this year, and it's going to be the case, it looks like, this time with rain to the south. And again, even here, this is suggesting only, 2 or 3 inches of snow maybe, but still, that could be enough to cause some problems Thursday morning for the morning commute. We'll check the North American mesoscale model. This is valid Thursday morning at 6 o'clock, and again, it's got that deeper swath of moisture coming right through here, and like the RPM, it's suggesting maybe a few inches of snow. In fact, really, the NAM is the most aggressive of all the models, maybe along Interstate 20 or points just north. This is suggesting maybe some 4-inch snows in there. And the European, in pretty good agreement, it's suggesting light snow, maybe an inch or two. So you can clearly see how the GFS is an outlier. Could it be right? Yes, but more than likely it's not. So the better idea, I think, is to go with the NAM, the European, the RPM, and suggest, for now, I think the best thing to do is to play it conservative and mention the chance of maybe 1 to 2 inches of snow, and then we can ramp it up if we need to later today or tomorrow. Keep in mind, this is Wednesday night and Thursday morning, so a lot of time before this thing gets here. And again, it's too early for the snow accumulation potential map. We like to be within 48 hours of an event, and that's going to be really tonight before we get within that time frame. So just be aware that Wednesday night, there's a pretty good chance we'll see some snow here. It will not be an historic snowstorm. It's not going to be something where you're going to get a foot of snow, but you might get 1 to 2 inches, and some spots maybe a bit more than that, and we'll fine-tune that forecast as we go. And then there's Friday. The whole thing is gone. Again, this is the European, and it's got the deepest plunge of cold air over Texas and Louisiana. Will it be colder here? Absolutely. That would suggest a high only in the 30s, and we'll probably lean that way in the forecast. The GFS seems way too warm, and it's just out of whack. So we'll mention a high probably in the upper 30s on Friday. And we'll go to Saturday, and we start to warm up. This will not be a long-lasting cold snap, whatever. But again, Friday morning, we could be in the mid to upper teens with a high in the 30s. Then Saturday, we start to warm up. We get back up there closer to 50. And Sunday, hey, we might be up there close to 60, maybe even low 60s on Sunday. So that looks like a fantastic day. The weekend should feature a good supply of sunshine. So after our little episode with wintry weather Wednesday night, Thursday morning, the cold snap will not last long. And there's a week from today, the next shortwave is well to the north of us, and that might squeeze out a little light rain, but probably not much, either Monday night or Tuesday of next week. We'll check the end of the forecast on the 22nd of February. Ridging across the deep south, and really no big, ridge pumped up over the western part of the continent to tap the cold air. And again, it sure looks like the latter part of February will be much milder than the first half. And I think that's good news for everybody. And again, there's a peek at the North Atlantic Oscillation. Stays pretty much positive all month long. And that favors no major, long-lasting Arctic shots down here. We can be cold, understand, but in terms of the long-lasting severe cold waves, looks very unlikely, and that's good. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 3:30 or so today. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.